Mary Shelley, the teenage girl who created monsters. Summer, 1816. Lake Geneva, Switzerland. Lightning splits the sky above Villa Diodati. Inside, 5 brilliant minds, huddled by candlelight, trapped by the storm. Lord Byron, the scandalous poet, Percy Shelley, the radical philosopher, Dr. Polidori, Byron's physician, Claire Clairmont, Byron's lover. And then there was her, 18 years old, quiet, the daughter of revolutionaries, but still just a teenager among literary giants. Her name, Mary Godwin, soon to be Mary Shelley. Byron leaned forward. "Let's each write a ghost story," he declared. The men scribbled tales of vampires and haunted castles, but Mary stared at the blank page. Night after night, nothing came, until one sleepless night, she had a waking dream. A scientist, a laboratory, lightning, and there, on a table, something that should not be alive, stirring. She began to write. It was on a dreary night of November. By morning, she had birthed the monster, the creature that would define horror for centuries. She was 18, and she had just created Frankenstein. Early life. Mary wasn't born into a normal family. Her mother, Mary Wollstonecraft, wrote the first major feminist manifesto. Her father, William Godwin, was a radical philosopher whose ideas inspired anarchists. But Mary never knew her mother. Wollstonecraft died 11 days after giving birth. Godwin raised Mary among books and rebels. By age 4, she was listening to conversations about revolution and the power of literature to change the world. Their house was a salon for intellectual outcasts. Coleridge recited poetry in their parlor. Revolutionary thinkers plotted over dinner. Mary learned to read by tracing letters on her mother's gravestone. Think about that. While other children played with dolls, Mary was reading revolutionary writings. While they learned nursery rhymes, she memorized Paradise Lost. She didn't just inherit intelligence, she inherited fire, the awakening. At 16, Mary met Percy Shelley, a married poet 6 years her senior, as brilliant as he was reckless. Their first conversation lasted 8 hours. Within weeks, they'd eloped to Europe. Scandalous? Absolutely. But Mary had been raised to question society's rules, not follow them. They traveled through war-torn Europe, reading voraciously, writing constantly. Mary wasn't just Percy's lover, she was his intellectual equal. But the world saw only scandal. They had no idea what she was becoming. The night everything changed. Mary's waking dream wasn't random. It was the collision of everything she'd absorbed: scientific education, Gothic imagination, revolutionary spirit. She'd been reading about galvanism, experiments with electricity that made dead tissue twitch. She'd studied anatomy, chemistry, natural philosophy, but most importantly, she'd been thinking about creation itself. What if science could replace God? What if man could create life? And what would happen when the creation turned against its creator? In one night, Mary Shelley invented science fiction. Not Gothic horror with supernatural explanations, but rigorous exploration of what could happen when science goes too far. She wrote about genetic engineering before genes were discovered. She explored artificial intelligence before computers existed. She questioned scientific ethics before the atomic bomb made such questions urgent. She was writing about the 21st century in 1816. The masterpiece. Frankenstein wasn't just a ghost story, it was a philosophical bombshell. The monster isn't evil because he's supernatural. He's tragic because he's abandoned. Victor Frankenstein isn't a mad scientist. He's a brilliant man destroyed by his own creation. Mary combined cutting-edge science, Gothic atmosphere, and romantic philosophy into something entirely new. But when published in 1818, Mary's name wasn't on it. The preface was written by Percy, leading many to assume he was the author. An 18-year-old girl had revolutionized literature, and the world assumed her husband did it. It took decades for Mary to get full credit, but the book was unstoppable. Legacy. Today, Mary Shelley's creation is everywhere. Every robot uprising movie, Frankenstein, every AI gone wrong story, Frankenstein, every exploration of scientific responsibility, Frankenstein. She gave us the template for modern horror, science fiction, and superhero stories. Victor Frankenstein is the ancestor of Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, and every scientist who plays God. Her influence stretches from Blade Runner to Ex Machina, from Jurassic Park to Black Mirror. But her greatest legacy isn't the monster, it's the questions she forced us to ask. What makes us human? What do we owe our creations? How far is too far? In an age of genetic engineering and artificial intelligence, Mary Shelley's warnings feel less like fiction and more like prophecy. Closing thoughts. So, what do you do when you're 18 and you accidentally invent an entire genre? You change the world. Mary Shelley didn't just write a book, she wrote our future. Every time we debate AI ethics or genetic engineering, we're having the conversation she started. She proved that genius doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't wait for credentials or the perfect moment. Sometimes it just takes a dark and stormy night, a blank page, and the courage to ask, what if? What do you think made Mary Shelley's vision so enduring? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Prodigy Pulse, where genius is just the beginning.